With the in-season tournament coming to an end now, the finals are today. I just wanted to talk about Tyrese Haliburton and what he's done and his season so far. Tyrese Haliburton, it doesn't matter, by the way, who wins the tournament or not, but Tyrese Haliburton has been insane. As I said, it doesn't matter who wins the tournament or not, who does it, who doesn't. It doesn't matter to whatever I'm going to say right now. Obviously, if he has a great game in the end or if he doesn't, like, that's obviously going to just prove what I'm saying. But really, what I wanted to talk about was Tyrese Halliburton as a whole. He's been probably the third best player who you could label a guard in the NBA this season. If you guys don't know or haven't seen, which is hard not to, he is averaging 27 points with 12 assists on 52% on 53% from the field, 44% from 3, and 88% from the free throw line. Insane numbers, insane numbers, and doing that with a steal, 4 rebounds. This guy has been insane, right? Like, he's averaging 12 assists with 2 turnovers, right? He's been leading his Indiana Pacers to the best offense, I think, of all time, if not, one of the greatest paces and offensive ratings in the league, with the greatest offensive rating in the NBA right now, with 123.3, and they basically have revolutionized basketball to, let's get rid of defense and actually playing good defense. We're just going to run the floor and play offense. Tyrese Haliburton, has been the piece of this experiment, which the Indiana Pacers are doing, by just being their point guard and playing like a dog every night. He's been able to really make, been able to share the ball with his team, and I honestly just wanted to give props to him for being able to do all of this at such a young age. If you guys don't know, Tyrese Haliburton started his career in Sacramento. His first season was there. He said that he thought that he was going to be there his entire career. And Tyrese Haliburton is one of these dudes where he's just like a good person. He's not a bad person. He is competitive and he cares about winning, but he's not one of these people who's going to start, like doing foul stuff just to get you to lose. He's a good dude. And recently we've seen his emergence as one of the greatest players in the league. We saw a glimpse of it last season when he was traded to Indiana from Sacramento, where Sacramento basically said, we prefer having De'Aaron Fox for the future of our franchise. And Indiana said, yo, you can have Domantas Sabonis to pair with him, and if we get our guy with Tyrese Haliburton. With this being said, I do want to point out that he has been absolutely insane in every single game. He normally just is really effective, is able to impact the way in a positive way. And he's one of these players where it almost gets me mad how perfect his games are, right? Like with his weird jump shot and his weird passes and the scoring, which just is unorthodox, and the way that he cuts through the lane so easily, and the way that he just seems so good at basketball. But also, you have to take into consideration that there are factors like his team's pace, which do, influx his stats. It has created for me just like a weird thing where it's like every single time I see him play, I'm kind of mad. Not mad because I'm like, oh, Tyrese Haliburton, he's bad, or I don't like him. Just mad in the sense of like, how is this guy so good? Right? He beat Milwaukee the other day. He hit that game-winning 3. It felt like he had actually an off night from 3, but he was able to hit that and win. With Boston, same thing in the clutch. He hit 2 threes back to back, and he dropped a triple-double. And he does this meanwhile getting 0 to 3 turnovers per game. And the games where he gets 3 turnovers, it's more likely that he was having either a bad game or that he just decided to shoot more and score more points than assists. I say all of this to say that Tyrese Haliburton has been in total one of the greatest players in the league right now. he looks pretty unstoppable, and I think his style of play mixed in with the way that his teams incorporated him to their system have been some of the most alarming and like positive transitions ever. This is his, career high field goal percentage, career high 3-point percentage, career high free throw shooting, career high assists, right? Career high in career low in turnovers, right? And career low in fouls. Right. The only thing that he's not as good at anymore is stealing the ball. But when you're doing everything else, when you're getting up and down the floor, when you are giving your team so many points and so much offense, right? And when you're accounting for the fact that he's the person who's entrusted the ball every single play to go and push the pace, you just have to kind of guess that he would be kind of tired to play defense. And honestly, I'm not gonna blame him for it, because even though I do think that defensive superstars are better superstars, and even though I do think that defensive players are the best players, there is something to be said for a guy who can just completely take your offense and make it run perfectly without you having to do anything. Right now, his Indiana Pacers, sit at sixth in the East with 12 wins and 8 losses. They have had some extremely tough competition, and I just want to say that. But honestly, they've been a team which has been able to just bring themselves together and really say, we're going to have our identity, we're going to have the way that we play, and we don't care how anyone thinks that we should play. We're going to play our way of basketball. And it's worked. Through these past games, they were able to beat Boston. They were able to beat Milwaukee in the one-game in-season tournament series. And they've been able to beat great teams through just persistence. They win. They're a team which likes to win. They're a team which cares about winning. And they're a team which, even though, yes, they do have some issues, right? He's a player who brings so much to the floor that he is the leader of his team in every way. It's not easy to say those types of things about guys when they're 23 years old, gonna be 24 in 70 days. But a guy who's still 2.5 months away from being 24, and we're looking at him when we're talking about him, and we're like, this kid is a leader. He's a great person. He's great at basketball, and he does everything well on the basketball floor. Tyrese Haliburton has won me over. It's all these reasons: his leadership, his way to play the game, his way of just making the game easy. The only thing I don't like about him is that he doesn't play defense, and that's because I'm very traditionalistic with stars, and I do think that every star should be able to at least lace up and guard somebody, if their life depended on it. So with defense, I'm not that sold on Tyrese, but apart from everything else, he's perfect. And I'm not saying that just to say that this is him, this is his time, he's the future. But if he keeps playing like this, it's going to be his league very soon. And he could win a championship with this play style as long as he just does it correctly, Sorry for all that sound. But yeah, in my opinion, Tyrese Haliburton has been the best player, right, who in the point guard position this season. I am not afraid to say that. It's him and De'Aaron Fox, honestly, in my opinion. Right, if any player who's not named Luka, obviously, but it's him and De'Aaron Fox, which have been right there with them being the best players at their position. I do believe that Tyrese Haliburton has been amazing. He's been able to really, put himself on the map and make himself a threat in this league. And if he keeps doing what he's doing right now, I don't think that we'll, hear his name, called for banners and championships and MVPs. I don't think it's going to take a long time for his name to be called in those types of conversations. That's all I wanted to say. Excuse all of this background noise. I'm sorry. I tried to fix it, but I couldn't, so that's why I'm in the video a bit early. But yeah, thank you so much. Talk to you tomorrow. As soon as the in-season tournament finishes, you guys will get a video tomorrow talking about that result. Thank you so much. Peace.